Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Art and Outdoor Life here with John. So, we're going to do a vignette style painting. These are very fun to do. You can do them on any size paper. In this case, I'm using a 9 by 12 and putting a little bit of blue, light blue, very lightly, a little bit heavier on the top, and I'm kind of letting it kind of fade off into the white paper. And like always, you can use any color that you want. I like to just give ideas. It's not a true vignette, but these are fun to do. Okay, so now, and I'm using a large hake brush here. Okay, so I'm using a little bit of a darker blue here for some mountains. The really cool thing about these, and this is watercolor paper, by the way, 140 pound. The really cool thing about these, or any painting for that matter, is you don't need much paint. You really don't. So I start out with some water and my paint. So I'm not getting that real strong pigment on there right away, as you could see. And off to my right, I have just a small wash rag there. And below the small wash rag, I have a little bit of paper in case I want to test my paints on. But I went ahead with my just having fun here. You could sit around and do these all day long on a sketchbook. You could do these with any kind of paints, and I didn't use hardly any paint on this. And that's a 9 by 12 sheet. So I put a little bit of sap green in here. Just pushing it along. Trying to figure out the horizon line and just kind of, pushing the paint in there. Like anything, the further up closer you are, you want it to be a little bit more heavier pigment to give it that impression that it's more closer up. You can do winter scenes, fall scenes, summer scenes like this. In spring, you can do anything like that. And yeah, this is the large hake brush. So, I had to be a little bit careful on the paint. That's why I'm barely grabbing any paint, right? Because I know that, I can easily, it's a very large brush. I can easily just go over everything at once. So I'm putting a little bit darker blue in there. And I'm not really adding water to the brush. I mean, it's got so much water in it already. But, at this time I'm more or less, using the excess water. It's almost becoming a dry technique, and so here what I did was I went ahead and I grabbed the medium hake, which is my go-to. on these size papers. And so just putting some yellow ochre here and there, just to mix up the colors, right? Just to kind of give it some of this and that. These are really fun to do because you could fiddle around with these all day long and you never know what you're going to come up with. And you don't have to worry about covering the whole paper, right? You don't have to worry about that. It's basically, putting ideas on there. So I grab some white. It's not gouache. It's not gouache. I do have gouache, white gouache, but no, just using some of the white for the mountaintops. And the cool thing is, because using the lighter colors, like the watered down colors in the back, they dry quicker. Not so much water on them and such. The same with the sky and that. And so everything is pretty much dry brush. Not too much water in here at all. So I'm using a darker blue again, coming down. And I'm outlining this stream. But notice I'm not outlining the whole stream, right? Just the side of the stream. Because that's a lot of paint for that little brush. So I put a little bit of water in. And I just moved the paint that way. Now you got shadows in the water. See that? Yeah. Save on your paint. And these are from the tube, by the way. And just enjoying this. Everything is drying fairly quickly because I am not using a lot of paint. And I'm not using much water at all. So a little bit of burnt umber here and there, with a little bit of dark blue and some yellow ochre I put in here. And I'm just feeling it out like I do with all my paintings. Again, this is not, the hardcore vignette painting. This is in the center of the page. And so with the little round brush, I'm just barely touching it. I want to give some ideas of some trees in the background. They're a little dark, but I want to push those mountains back even further, because I want those mountains to be distant. As you remember, I had used dark blue for the mountains, watered down, right? Now they look gray. And then I added the white on there. So I'm just kind of having fun here. That's what painting is about, right? For me, I do it as a hobby. I do it to give you ideas. I do it for a therapy. And doing this on my coffee table, and that's why I'm sharing this with you. So with the fan brush, I'm like, okay. So the very edge of the fan brush, because it's a very large fan brush. Okay, so we're going to make maybe a couple waterfall kind of ripple things into the stream. And, even that white defines, gives a lot of definition into this painting. I could have took a very small card and, uh, you know, made my own little things there. I did this very fast. This is a fast and loose painting, vignette style. And I say style because it's not exactly vignette, but it's a vignette style. And so up front, I'm going to push a little bit more green in there to get some of these trees up front here. Kind of push back a little bit of everything. And just from here, you just kind of go back and forth. I'll put a little bit of yellow in here over some of the blue and over some of the green, just to try to get some patches of land, fields, that kind of thing. And, a little bit more burnt umber. But you can do this. You don't have to use the whole paper. And you could flip the paper over. And you use very little paint when you do these. Very little. So you save on paint. And you have a great time. And you could do like as many as you want in a day. I would suggest try all different seasons. Try a winter season. Try a fall season. These are really fun. Look at the sky. It's so light. And everything is just kind of popping out. Put a few birds in here. I want to thank you for those of you who have been watching my channel. Even those, especially, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for viewing. I really appreciate it. I hope that you get an enjoyment out of this. That's one of the main takeaways. It makes me feel good, but, hopefully someone out there is having a good time enjoying these as much as I enjoy painting them. And I want to wish you a good, wonderful, and peaceful day wherever you are, whatever you're doing, what time you're watching this. And remember, you could do this with any medium: acrylics, oil, watercolor, pastels, anything. And please like and subscribe and come back again. Sincerely yours, John. So just add just a little touch up here. Yeah, maybe I'm putting in a little too much, but it's okay. It's okay. Just having fun. That's the whole idea, is to have fun, to relax.